Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
To Crime Time Conversation, where the truth speaks and the people listen. From Cape Town to Maryland, from Nimba to Montserrat, the future calling Liberia. When the voices of the people start to rise, you can see the truth within their eyes. Too many years of struggle and pain, still the people dancing in the rain. But hope is growing in the land tonight. A new vision coming into sight. A servant leader walking with the crowd, speaking truth, humble but proud. This is Crime Time Conversation, talking about the nation's transformation. From the villages to the city life, Liberia searching for what is right. Education for every girl and boy, healthcare bringing hope and joy. A stronger future we can see for every Liberian family. Hear the farmers calling from the field, waiting for the harvest that the land can yield. Technology knocking at the nation's door, young minds ready to explore. Electric power shining through the night, security standing for what is right. The economy rising for everyone, a new chapter has begun. This is Prime Time Conversation, voices of a rising generation. Agriculture feeding every home, no more hunger, no more roam. From Cape Town to Maryland shore, the people say we must do more. From Nimba Hills to Montserrat streets, the future and the people meet. Now the people talking in the marketplace about a man who walks with steady pace, a leader with a vision for the land, reaching out with a helping hand. From humanitarian work to leadership call, standing strong when the people fall. Talking about dignity, justice and trust, serving the nation because he must. Not for power, not for fame, but to lift Liberia's name. A vision rising clear and bright, leading the nation toward the light. Oh, Liberia, hear the cry. Let the children reach the sky. When the people stand as one, the victory has begun. The conversation starts tonight, speaking truth and shining light. Together we can build again for the daughters and the sons. This is Prime Time Conversation, voices of a hopeful nation. Education, health and peace, let the nation struggle cease. With strong leadership guiding the way.
We'll be talking about the release of, pretty soon, the release of Prophet Key. What is that going to mean for social media commentator in the Liberian diaspora and at home when it comes to politics? And last but not the least, we will just go on to discuss other issues. We're calling it beating around the bush and clearing some things that are making headlines in Liberia. So, Lavetta, I'm going to turn it over to you now as you bring up our news update from Liberia.
Good evening, Dr. Pearson. Good evening to our listeners in Radio Land and those of you watching via our Facebook page, LIB Future TV. Welcome. Reflecting on the election, Commies urged Liberians to draw lessons from previous experiences rather than remain consumed by them. You can learn from the past, but you can't change the past, he said. His comments come as political parties continue positioning themselves ahead of Liberia's next electoral cycle. Kumi has previously indicated that the 2029 elections will likely mark his final bid for the presidency, emphasizing the need for national unity and a renewed focus on governance and development. His latest remarks are expected to reignite debate over the credibility of the 2023 election results and the decisions made by opposition parties in the aftermath of the polls. Jura into a corruption trial claims she was forced to serve amid misconduct allegations. Sia Tanapole, one of the jurors who served in the high-profile corruption trial involving former Finance and Development Planning Minister Samuel D. Twe, has publicly responded to allegations of juror misconduct, claiming she was compelled to serve on the panel despite repeatedly expressing her unwillingness to do so. Speaking publicly about her experience, Tanapoli said she had no interest in serving as a juror and intentionally boycotted the jury orientation in an effort to avoid participating in the case. According to her, her absence did not end the process, as she was later contacted at her workplace and instructed to report for jury duty, leaving her with little choice but to comply. Tanapoli further recounted that during the jury selection process on March 12, 2026, judicial staff specifically asked prospective jurors whether they were willing to serve. She said she declined the request, making it clear that she did not wish to be part of the proceedings. Despite her refusal, she alleged that she was untimely assigned to the jury. According to Tanapoli Criminal Code C, Judge Osman Fiaka warned prospective jurors that anyone who refused to serve could be held in contempt of the court and face imprisonment. She said the warning created fear among those selected untimely, compelling her to participate in the trial against her wishes. Her comments come as scrutiny continues to surround the jury that heard the corruption case against Twe, with allegations of misconduct drawing public attention. Tanapoli's account adds a new dimension to the controversy by raising questions about the jury selection process and whether prospective jurors felt they had a genuine opportunity to decline service. Made under investigation after a wife died infantry accident in Bon County. A 44-year-old babe is under investigation by the Liberian National Police following the death of his wife in what authorities believe may have been a tragic accident involving a falling palm tree in Hede, Fuyema District, Lower Bon County. The man, identified as Kofi Molayen, told investigators that he and his wife, Ogwetu Molayen, had gone to their cassava farm to harvest food for their children on the day of the incident. According to his statement, after they had dug several pieces of cassava, he instructed his wife to return to the nearby kitchen. Mr. Molayen said he observed his wife walking towards the kitchen to retrieve a bag before he began cutting down a dry palm tree that he believed contained baboon worms, locally known as strong bud. He explained that moments after felling the tree, he heard a loud sound and rushed to the scene, where he found his wife trapped beneath the falling palm log. The incident has left residents of Hede in shock and mourning as family members and community residents struggle to come to terms with the sudden loss. Following the incident, Mr. Moulayen was taken into police custody and transferred to the Beaumont Police Depot for questioning. The Liberian National Police, working alongside local authorities in Foyama District, subsequently authorized the burial of the deceased while investigators continue to examine the circumstances surrounding the incident. Police say the investigation remains ongoing and authorities have not yet announced whether any charges will be filed as they work to determine the exact circumstances that led to the woman's death. Eddie Jawolo urges President Bouaka to address cocaine allegations amid growing public concern. Liberian public policy advocate Eddie Jawolo has called on President Joseph Yuma Bouaka to directly address the nation over ongoing cocaine-related allegations that have dominated public discourse in recent months. In a public statement, Jawolo said the allegations have, for the past 2 months, attracted significant national and international attention, raising concerns about the reported involvement of government officials entrusted with implementing the president's national agenda. According to Jawolo, the controversy poses a serious threat to public confidence, the credibility of the Bouaka administration, and the president's leadership legacy. He argued that Liberians deserve transparency, accountability, and reassurance as the country grapples with the unfolding allegations. Mr. President, it is time to address the nation directly, confront this situation decisively, and demonstrate that no one is above the law, Jawolo wrote, emphasizing that the current circumstances require strong leadership and decisive action. Jawolo further reminded President Bouaka that combating drug trafficking was one of the central messages of his presidential campaign. He urged the president to uphold that commitment by taking firm actions to restore public trust and reinforce the government's commitment to the rule of law. The statement comes as public debate surrounding alleged cocaine trafficking and the reported involvement of public officials continues to intensify, with growing calls for various quarters for transparency and accountability from the government. MDR youth be vigilant and avoid being deceived by individuals distributing or displaying unauthorized version of the symbolic party item. Foreign Minister denies drug scandal allegations, says U.S. supports strengthening investigation. Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Beslo Yanti has strongly rejected allegations linking her to Liberia's reported $317 million drug seizure emerged. She said discussion focused on the investigation and contributed to increase U.S. support for Liberia's ongoing efforts to investigate the matter. Yanti argued that the allegations are intended to damage Liberia's renewed international reputation and divert attention from the country's progress in strengthening diplomatic relations and cooperation with international partners. She emphasized that the government remains committed to ensuring a credible and transparent investigation while continuing to work closely with international allies. And men charged with murder in Pinsville after arrest in Sierra Leone. The Liberian National Police has formally charged Augustine Linde, commonly known as T-Boy, with murder in connection with the death of Orito P. in the Ominka Oldfields community, Pinsville. According to a police release issued on Thursday, August 6, investigators alleged that the incident occurred on July 29, 2026 at approximately 8:15 p.m. The victim was found about 26 feet from the accused residence with multiple injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said preliminary investigation revealed that the victim's mother, Alice Flomo, informed investigators that her daughter had gone to Linda's residence to retrieve her personal clothes but never returned home. The investigation also established that Linda had allegedly assaulted the victim on a previous occasion. Police said the allegation formed part of the evidence reviewed during the investigation. Authorities further disclosed that Linda fled Liberia following the incident but was later arrested in the Republic of Sierra Leone. He was subsequently handed over to Liberian authorities to face justice. Following the conclusion of the investigation, the Liberian National Police formally charged Linda with murder in violation of Section 14.1 of the New Penal Law of Liberia. He has since been forwarded to court for prosecution in accordance with Liberian law. Police have now released additional details regarding the motive for the alleged killing, and the matter is now before the courts of adjudication. That was the latest new update from Liberia. My name is Laveda Davis. Good evening.
Thank you, Lavetta, for that news, and thank you for the time you spent on the show tonight. Get home safe, and we want to say we appreciate your time on the show.
All right, Dr. Pearson, to have yourself a great time.
Thank you. Bye. All right, so there you have it. That was the news update from Lavetta. She was there in Liberia, bringing us our news update on happenings in Liberia. Several important things happening in Liberia, and she was able to bring us up to speed on those issues happening in Liberia. Today, we want to continue our conversation, and you see, this conversation is not going to go away. The issue that has to do with the drug, no, it's not going to go away. We just are not going to allow it to go away. And someone will say, but you know, every time Liberian, you guys are talking about this drug business. You guys talking about this drug business. The thing finished now. Y'all let it go. And you know, y'all can keep dragging this thing in the mud. But you see, it's about the future of our nation. It's about the future of our people. And the thing is that if we don't have this conversation around this drug issue and continually push for something to be done about it, the future of our nation is definitely at stake. So we will keep having this conversation as long as this issue hang around. You'll be hearing us talking about this issue. So as we talk about this whole drug business, it is important for us to give ourselves some refreshment over this entire subject. What are some of the things that are happening with this drug issue that we have to refresh ourselves about? What can we say concerning this whole drug business? What has been transparent, and at what point now can we say, yeah, this is enough, we can lay it to rest? But it's not going anywhere anytime soon, right? So let us bring ourselves up to speed. So this whole cocaine thing, we need to understand that there's a difference between the domestic drug issue and the transnational drug issue. What are the difference? Because, you know, if you don't understand the difference, then there's a problem in how you can address it. So let me bring some clarity to this issue. So when we talk about the domestic drug issue, we are talking about issues that has to do with kuch and marijuana, all the little drug that happen in Liberia, where you see when the DEA catch people, they get those small little drug that we take in Liberia. Now that is the domestic drug challenge. That has to do with dealing with issues that have to do with drug that locally you can afford to buy it and you can use it. Our local people can use it. The transnational drug is the one that has to do with the cocaine. And now the cocaine is more expensive. Like you saw, they said the 3,000 plus kilogram that they arrested is around 300 million. Some people put it 500 million. If you look at the street value with the calculation, it's around $800 million. So that kind of drug is only passing through Liberia from the cartel outside of Liberia. It passes through Liberia because the route to Liberia is easy to get to the international community. And now the cocaine that we have in Liberia, it has been established that it was on its way to Europe, especially to the UK. So with that understanding, there are some things we need to say here. So first of all, we all saw the video that surfaced where the cartels, those who claim, all right, to be the cartel, were addressing Liberia. They were addressing Liberians and then the Liberian authority, and particularly they were talking to President Boyka's son, Jojo Boyka, in which they said Jojo Boyka had given them assurances that the cocaine that got caught in Liberia was going to be protected, and then it was going to go through to where they wanted it to go so that they can do the business. But then they said, well, we sent 10 tons of cocaine and 4 tons was intercepted. According to LDA and Liberian government, they busted it. And when they say busted, which means they grab it. And because they grabbed it, they were going to destroy it. And then you guys are saying, listen, it's not just 4 tons we're talking about 10 tons. So Jojo Boyka, you even have additional 6 tons. So if you guys are planning to have it destroyed, just know that we are following you and we want to make sure that we want to clarify that there's still 6 tons more that have not been accounted for by the DSO, which means somewhere in Liberia, there's 6 tons of cocaine still sitting down. And like we said the other time on LIB Future TV, one of our broadcasters said that cartels don't usually put all their cocaine in one basket. So which means if they were keeping it across Liberia, they would not put all of the cocaine in one spot. So they were spread apart, maybe 10% in different areas. So if they get 100% of the cocaine in Liberia and they distribute it 10% in different areas that they stash it, when they say stash it, it means they're keeping it. Then it means to say you got 10 different areas, 10% each. So if you catch 40%, then it means to say you're 10% rather than you still have 80% left. So if you got 2 places of those cocaines, that what I'm trying to say, cocaine stash, maybe the one at Area A and the one to Dwazon, if it's a 10% break across how they were selling that, just illustration, they were hiding it, then it would mean to say now that they still got 80% left hanging somewhere in Liberia. So in other words, if you caught 2 different areas, they still get other areas keeping their drugs. Now, however, that percentage of how they keep it, I may not know because I don't work with the cartels. So I may not know what is the percentage of their different stash across the country. But those guys are saying, if you say you got 4 tons, we still have 6 tons in the country. So yeah, they pull the legs of Jojo Boyka into this whole thing, and they're saying, look, Jojo Boyka, you have given us your word that our cocaine will be safe and will go to where we wanted to go. But now that the government is interfering with our operation, we want to make you understand that we hold you responsible for this. And if you don't secure our property and our goods and services, we are going to make sure that you pay for it. Somebody said, well, you know, that's a fake recording. But then again, the government of Liberia and other international partners, they look at the video and say, no, the video is not fake. It's not AI generated. Everything about the video is correct, right? But the only thing we'll say is that we are not sure whether those who prepare the video are the actual people who own the cocaine. So now they left that hanging. But whether or not they left that hanging is for our NSA, our LDA, our Liberian National Police and things to find that out and make sure that our first family, when they say first family, I mean the president family, the family of the president's son, and the president himself, his wife, and other family members are not, you know, threatened or endangered by the cartel. Now, let us get some things clear here because it is important for us as Liberians to know. Now, when you have a situation where you are dealing with a cartel and they challenge you and they say, listen, you got something that belongs to us and we are going to come after you for it, it is not a joke. And it should not be taken lightly. It should be taken very seriously. And that's the reason why we are concerned about the president being in the private bar. You know, when the other day when the president's son was, they say he was launching song or singing song, and the president and his wife were taken to a private bar, and then they were seen in a dark bar, relaxing, and we don't know who were with them, who were in the bar, who were sitting in the bar with them. Nobody have any idea what that was about. And then at the end of the day, people were saying it was risky for the president to be in a public bar like that in the night, and then in the midst of this cocaine issue. So the president, and we have to say this, the president has to be careful. His first family has to be careful. They got to pay attention to what's going on. it is irresponsible to just say, oh, the recording is real, but the people inside, they are fake. You can't take those kind of chances. And let me tell you why we cannot take those kind of chances as a nation. We can't take those kind of chances as a nation because if anything goes wrong with the president, it affects the entire country. It affects the entire nation. Whether we live in Liberia or we outside Liberia, anything happening to President Parker is going to affect the entire country. So we as Liberians, we have to be very concerned about what is going on in the country. We have to be concerned about what happens when our president is outside there, right? That's why they bought the president $1.2 million bulletproof vehicle. That's why the president drives in 4 different bulletproof vehicles. He got 2 Lexus bulletproof custom-made vehicles. He got 2 Toyota custom-made bulletproof vehicles. So he got 4 bulletproof vehicles. 2 inherited from the past government, and another 2 that he bought when he came to office. So why do you think they gave the president bulletproof vehicle? Because they know that if anything happens to the president, it affects the country also. So definitely, yes, that's why it is important that the president should be very careful. Our security apparatus must not take lightly the threat to our nation when it comes to drug, right? And the cartel giving our president any threat that will endanger his life, right? So we need to keep that very, very clear and tell our Liberian people that, listen, we shouldn't take drug business for granted. Now, to even add to this conversation about the president being the bar, then we found out later on that the owner of the bar is linked to the cartel. The owner of the bar is linked to the cartel. Now, you know, the thing about primetime conversation, those of you who love primetime conversation, our audience, the thing about primetime conversations that will bring whole new light to the conversation, will bring different dynamics to the conversation. Let me bring another dynamics to this conversation. Now, the president was in private bar. Private bar later is connected to the drug cartel. The drug cartel is sending threatening messages to the first family. That alone is a major red flag. The president was in a bar, a nightclub, and the nightclub is connected by allegations to the cartel, to the owners of the drug. The people who have the drug network in Liberia, the bar, private bar, is in Joe Bar there in Liberia, they call it era Joe Bar, is connected to the cartel who are peddling the drugs. And we are destroying major quantity of the people drug, which means we dig into the profits. And the thing about people who run drug is that you don't mess with the profit and you think you're going to go free. No, they will have to set an example of you so that they put fear in those who are working for them. I want you to keep that in mind. The thing about cartel, when you mess with a product, they will come after you to set example to others who didn't in the product, so that people can say, oh no, they are not weak. Right? So for them to teach a lesson, say we are not weak, they set example on those who mess with the product. So that's why we need to be careful. And now let me throw another light, right? Not only that the bar that the president was in with his son who the cartel was threatening, but the president was allowed to go into that bar when in fact there were people in NSA, there were people in Liberia National Police, there were people in LDA who later will get to know are connected, allegedly connected to the cartel. Let me give the example. The NSA, the director from NSA, right? The director from NSA is said to have been one of the directors from NSA, the deputy directors. Let me make that clear. The deputy director, Patrick Doe, deputy director for administration from the National Security Agency, the people who are sitting on top of top information in our government, was still in his position, his official position when the president was in that bar, and that bar was connected to the cartel. And that bar will be sending a threatening message to the president's son who was also in that bar, and to the president's family. The president and his wife was in that bar. That is scary, my people. That is scary. That is scary. So it tells you now that the president should not have been in that bar, because not only that the cartel has connection to that bar allegedly, but the cartel also have people who are connected in government, in National Security Agency, who kept their mouth shut and allowed the president to go in that bar. Another person from the National Security Agency, an agent that is also accused and dismissed, just like Doe was dismissed, is Jamal V. Jala. So two people in the NSA were sitting in the NSA. They're still having their job and doing their work. When the president was allowed to go in a bar that was linked to the cartel, when the cartel were already making video to threaten the president's son and threaten the president himself. Not only that, another agent was dismissed. Agent Christine, right? Kristen L. Yanti. Kristen Yanti was also dismissed as an agent of the NSA, right? So how can you have these agents, these directors of the NSA, still having a job at the time, and the president was allowed to go into a club that allegedly has link to the cartel, and the cartel were already preparing a message to threaten the president's son and threaten the president's first family. Not only that, in the NSA also another agent, Abednego Jr. Abednego Jr. was still in the NSA when the president was taken that night into that bar, and these guys that I just named, all of these people I just named, was still in the NSA, and they allowed the president, his son who was being threatened by the NSA, to go into that bar, allow the president to go into that bar, allow the president's wife to go in that bar, putting the entire country at risk. Putting the entire country at risk. Now, you know what I tell you about, that's what I tell you about primetime conversation. We bring a spin to the conversation, not a spin that is just propaganda, but a spin that is analytical, that is reasoning, is facts. Now, let's look at another issue that we need to be concerned about when the president comes to that cocaine issue going to private bar. That is a major concern to us. Not only that will happen in the NSA, it will also happen in the national police, right? We had Johnny Bola Dean, Commissioner of Police for Criminal Investigation, Intelligence, and Interpol. Somebody at that high level of intelligence and criminal investigation was still sitting in the Liberia National Police headquarters, and President Boyka was allowed to go into a bar that is allegedly linked to the cartel, that the cartel were already preparing video to threaten the president's son, threaten the president, and they didn't advise the president not to be in that bar. They kept them mouth shut. The president was made vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable. Not only that, even DEA officers were still in position with intelligence, knowing that the bar is linked to the cartel, and the cartel was threatening the president's son, and the cartel was not happy. The cartel is not happy about what is going on with the Prada, and they still allowed the president to go to that nightclub that allegedly get connection to the bar. What other police person I'm talking about in the security? Wadea Kwabo, allegedly officer, Liberia National Police, right? Director of traffic. Can you imagine that? Not only that, but another LMP officer also that was linked to that entire situation that we are very concerned about. Let's look at LMP, connected both to the LDA and LMP. All right? Let's look at the guy from LDA. For example, let me find that name code and give it to you. Let me find that name code and give it to you. From the LDA. So LDA, the guys who know about what happened with the drug. Deputy Commander of LDA, who's still in LDA working with RIA, Moses Jala. Deputy Commander, but he should have idea of what's going on in the LDA. So if he's connected to the cartel, then you know say he knows about the cartel linked to the bar. And not only that, he knows about the cartel operation. He allowed the president to go into danger. Patrick Kamansu, acting deputy director, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, also alleged to be linked to the cartel. While they were staying in office, allowed the president to be present in a bar that is linked to the cartel, and the cartel is threatening the president's son, and the cartel is threatening the first family. All these people are sitting there in power, and they closed the mouth shut and they made the president vulnerable like that. These are concerning matters. That's why Mr. Alexander Cummings say that, look, we need to have an investigation into these matters, then it becomes a serious issue. Mr. Cummings says, Liberia is going in the wrong direction. There's a narco trafficking problem and a domestic drug use problem. The question is that we don't have doubt that there is matter with domestically, which means in the country, people fighting with cooch, people fighting with marijuana and other illegal substances. But at the same time, we're struggling with narcotic that is leaving the country going abroad. And there are people in high ups. Gregor Coleman's own words, not my words. The police director, Gregor Coleman's own words, says there are high level, very, very high level stakeholders, state actors involved in this drug business that have given, he said involved alone, he said that given sanction. Sanction means they have given approval for the drug cartel to operate in Liberia. And he was right, because from the list I just named, these guys have compromised the country to the extent that they allowed the president to go into a bar that is allegedly linked to the cartel. While the cartel is planning a threatening message to the first family, they allow the first family to be present in a bar linked to the cartel in the night. And the president said down there, if there was anything to go wrong, that was the perfect environment for something to go wrong. It is in the night. Anybody can infiltrate. Anybody can hurt the president. Anybody can hurt the president's son. Anybody can hurt the first family. The wife of the president was sitting there, even though they were having fun, laughing, enjoying themselves, smiling. But that would have been a catastrophic event for the Republic of Liberia and put the country in a big mess. So Mr. Common Sense, Liberia is going in the wrong direction. The problem is that we know the direction the country is going into. The question is, how can we fix it? But to fix it, there are some things we need to understand. Bishop Carter Brown said we need to understand where the drug is coming from. Bishop Carter Brown is the former head of the Liberian Council of Churches, right? He always loved to add a voice to political happenings in the country to make sure that he, as a clergyman, can give his voice to what's going on. He says, Bishop Carter Brown said, I want to know, where is the drug coming from? Where is it passing through to come into the country? Because we already know now some of the places they are keeping it. We already know now some of the places they were trying to send it because of how we caught it at the RIA. But what we need to know now is, how is it entering the country? Somebody will argue, the border is porous, which means the borders is not, it's so wide, the border, 365, square miles and other kind of things. That our country is big. So you don't have the capacity to protect all the borders. But at the same time, that's why we have international partners. That's how we have regional collaboration. So we're able to collaborate and understand and fight this thing in a holistic way. And some of the way to fight things is to use Interpol, to use regional collaboration. But regional collaboration, Interpol, and other things will not work when you have people who are over intelligence, like in the NSA, involved with the cartel. You have people in the Liberian National Police involved in the cartel. You have people at the RIA involved in the cartel. You got people at the LDA involved in the cartel. Mr. Cummings said, then we are heading in the wrong direction. Both with the local drug that can't seem to get stopped at both waterside, still coming into Liberia, and on the international front, cocaine overwhelming Liberia. So the point here now is that, how can we redirect the country? Mr. Cummings is saying the system has been infiltrated, right? The system has been infiltrated. The country has been compromised. Our security sector has been compromised. Our national government has been compromised. The police director said the whole thing now is compromised. He said even major stakeholders, very, very huge stakeholders, are involved in this thing. So he said, listen, this is difficult. So yeah, Mr. Cummings said, look, we need independent investigation. We need help. Some people say, oh, the American government helping us. Like the Chief Justice said today, he said, yeah, the AG Attorney General said today, he said, yeah, oh, the American government helping us. Well, yeah, we're happy if the American government helping us. But what is it going to cost us if we're not careful? If we're sabotaging our own self, in other words, we undermine our own efforts. How can the help of the American even be helpful to us if we undermine our own self? You answer that question for me. Let me tell you what I mean. The guys in the national police who sort of be in charge of securing our country in terms of criminal investigation, he compromised. Criminal investigation intelligence, he compromised. So any criminal activity happening in the country that he's supposed to be on top of information and feed the government with it so that the government can take precaution and control things, he compromised. Then you go to NSA. NSA that is linked to Interpol, linked to other major secret, top secret information in the country to know what's happening in the dark places, compromise. Well, thank God now we have identified some other guys who were compromised, maybe much better now, but they were compromised. Then you leave there, you go to LDA, the men who are sampled to the borders to make sure they track drug and things to make sure drug not come in the country. They compromise. The acting director, everybody compromise. So the border vulnerable to drug intelligence is staff of intelligence. They cover it with big tap. They put tap on top of the intelligence. Nobody talk about what's going on in secret, so nobody can know what happened with drug. Then at the Liberia National Police, the men who in charge of traffic, the traffic director, highway traffic patrol director, compromise. So the intelligence of the tell us drug coming in the country, compromise. The men that will be at the border looking for drug that come in the country, compromise. The guy who in charge of intelligence and criminal investigation, he compromised. The guy who will be in charge of making sure that even if the thing pass the border, even if we miss the intelligence, at least when they're driving it in the communities to reach it to where they're going hide it, chief of highway patrol will catch it, but at the checkpoint they will catch it. No, the escort Gary Coleman said one escort car in front of one escort car behind. How they used to be escorting the cocaine. Who know how many times they did it, and to how many places they carry it. Maybe there'll be the good people to tell us where the cocaines were carried, and then they should tell us where the remaining 6 tons of cocaine is, because the cartel said there should be 10 tons. We wouldn't know about 4 tons. So where's the other 6 tons? If they're not playing games, where are they? Where are they? Right. So then, out of that compromise, then you go to the somebody say, oh, the airport. Maybe the airport is protected. No, the airport is vulnerable. Why do I say the airport is vulnerable? Mark Egon Kuya, Deputy Director for Operations at the Rabat International Airport. The cocaine the intelligence has sort of catch the cocaine that happening in the sub-region in Liberia, compromise. The border point where it's sort of pass through, compromise. The chaplain has sort of blacking on the road by highway police, compromise. They go into secret. They pass away good, trying to leave the country, go to the RIA, compromise. The director for operation there, compromise. Currently now he has been dismissed. But that was the case. Not only that, the operation, the guy was able to make sure that you can go, so this can go, so he the guy, director of operation, directing things how it should happen, it shouldn't happen. Compromise. The drug can just leave the country anytime you want to leave the country. In addition to that, at the same time, the same RA, Mohammed Bowe, right? The guy was the director of security, Robert International Airport, who had been dismissed also. He was also compromised. So the director for security also, so the thing was crazy. Crazy. That's why we need independent investigation, like Cummings said. And Cummings is right. We need independent investigation. The country is going the wrong direction. Not only is the RIA compromised, but the guy who is involved in, so let's say, RIA, director for operation compromised, the director for security RIA compromised, the guys in for intelligence LMP compromised, the guys for highway patrol LMP compromised, the guys in for intelligence NSS compromised, guys in for acting director LDA compromised. Jesus. Everybody compromised. Airport, everybody compromised. Then we start to get some hope. We said maybe they put them in compromise. Then we hear now the IBA, the IB ship, right? The ship that they've been chasing a few times, that they can't catch. Been sitting down on Liberian waters. While we're saying drug coming in the country, we don't know where the drug coming from. A ship, unknown ship, at the time we call it an unknown ship sitting out in the country. Whether it got cocaine or ain't got cocaine, but sitting out on on the ocean Liberian waters. And Coast Guard said he know nothing about it. Fisheries said he know nothing about it. Sit down there, community members had to do video, Facebook Live and complain before the AFL and say, okay, I go check it out. But they go in the China and they put us on Facebook Live. Oh, we come with 2 boats and we got these 12 million 8 or so million on the people coming catch you. The men say west side. Soon as saw the video, the men start laying. But meantime, what makes it even interesting is that the ship that we're talking about is also linked to somebody from the airport. The Kua guy, the Kua guy from the airport, the director for operation is linked to him. And they're saying he don't want got connection with the ship. And even before we even saw the video from the community members complaining, say, all the drug thing we're talking about, there's a ship here, and we know who the ship for. Before then, they already had information way back. Whereas around the same time we're catching drugs and you know where the drug coming from. They were communicating with themselves between the guy from the airport from Kua to Maritime and then to the fishery. Oh, we got ship here and the ship needs some fuel, it needs some repair and distress. What are the code that they were using to what are the code that they were using to go and say, ain't the ship here now for most supplier can collect it? Nobody know because the guy connected to the ship and the guy is connected to the cartel. The guy is connected to the ship, the guy is connected to the cartel. Isn't that serious? Mr. Cummings is right. The country is going in the wrong direction. Both with the coach in Liberia and with the cocaine, the narcotics that live in the country. But let me tell you something about the coach when Mr. Cummings is going in the wrong direction. LDA, I will not play the recording, but LDA is in a recording because the recording is owned by the investigator newspaper. And you know there's something called intellectual property. Intellectual property means if somebody owns the information before you use it, you got to contact them. You got to contact them. So I will not play the guy audio. I will not show his video. But the guy did an audio recording with a DA officer who said the drug, in terms of internal drug, the domestic drug, the coach in Liberia, he said the coach in Liberia is more than a weird time. The coach for 2025 in Liberia is the one in 2026 is more than the one that they saw in 2025. And he said the one in 2025 and 2026, they are even 100 times more than the one that they met when John Weah was in power. That's serious. It's very serious. So we need to be very careful. We need to be very aware of what's going on in our country. And this drug thing, look, let me say, Liberian people, we cannot allow the drug thing to go down quietly. We cannot allow the drug thing to go down quietly. That's why Mr. Cummings said this. Mr. Cummings says, he says, my passion is to change the lives of ordinary Liberians and any collaboration. Later on, we'll focus on what we want to do for Liberians, and that will determine who is best to serve in what role. So, Mr. Cummings said, look, as we try to fix this country with all this thing going on, it is just not about going into political office and going to get into power. It is about deciding what is best for Liberian people. How can we change their lives? This should be the reason why we're going to be collaborating in the future. He said that should be the reason why we're going to be collaborating in the future. And another thing he said I want to just mention, he said we believe in collaboration, coordinating, and coalition building. He said, look, we are not throwing away the fact that we can help each other out. If we can help each other out, come together to solve Liberia problem, let's do that. Liberia problem is bigger than our political ambition. Liberia problem is bigger than any one politician. We all need to come together and fix this problem. This thing is not George Weah thing. It is not Joseph Brokaw thing. It is not Alexander Cummings thing. It is not Musa Bedete thing. It is not Baina Ure thing. The drug issue is a Liberian problem. And every Liberian who really loves the country, we all must come together and see how we can solve this problem. Because Liberia is in the wrong place. Liberia is in the wrong direction. If I were president of Liberia, we wouldn't have this drug situation, Mr. Cummings said. I believe in. You know why I believe in? Because it takes leadership. It takes leadership. It takes leadership to take the country from a drug situation that is very dangerous to a situation where Liberians can see and know that yes, our country deserves better. That what we are doing for Liberia today should not just be about party politics and what we know and what we want to achieve for ourselves, the benefit we want to get. It should be about Liberia. Where can we take Liberia next? So, you know, as we move forward with this whole thing here, we want to say, yeah, the president said today, oh, you know, there will be no sacred cow. We'll follow the evidence wherever it leads. But, Mr. President, the evidence led right to your son's foot. And up to now, we have not heard that you are taking any action for your son to have a public display like we see other people's name being published, other people's name being cited on your website. We have not seen you cite any information on your website and saying, where the president said, our President Joseph Yoman Boyka wants to inform the Liberian people that my son was named in a video concerning this drug issue. I do not know whether my son was truly involved or not. It is just an allegation, but I am saying I am going to succumb my son over to the Liberian National Police, to the Joint Security, so that they can investigate him. And if my son is found to be, involved with the cartel, he should face the full weight of the law. You should have used that to set example. Mr. President, you cannot be setting example other poor children, then you be hiding your own. The guy from RIA, the guys from LDA, the guy from Liberia National Police, all of their own situation to the allegations. Everybody got different forms of allegation. Everybody allegation come in different ways and different fashion. Your own son allegation came through video. Oh yeah, so then be bold enough, be man enough. Don't just give up rhetoric. Don't just give up political talk. They see when you put other people children on the name. I won't call them government official. I'll call them people children. I'll call them people children. Yeah, you're able to put other people children name on your website, on your Facebook page, executive mansion Facebook page, and say these people are suspended or dismissed from government role until they can be investigated and they are not guilty. I'm not saying that guilty, but they're not be investigated. Put your son name on your Facebook page as well, on the executive mansion Facebook page, that my son Jojo Besa or whatever his name is, Jojo Boyka, has been linked or accused of being attached to the cartel. We have seen that the video published seems to be valid or legitimate, but we are not sure about the content in terms of who prepared it. But I, as the president of Liberia, to show Liberians that no stone will be left unturned, I will turn my son over for investigation by the Joint Security. Don't do his own business in secret. No, that's not an example. So that whole thing the president was talking today about, no stone will be left unturned. We'll follow the evidence where it will lead. Then follow it to your son. Yeah, let your son be the example to set. In fact, that is the strongest example you can set. For you to say, my son was listed in a video linked to the cartel, and I will be turning my son over for investigation. If anything found to be to the contrary to his statement that he is not involved, the law will be the law. Then we know you're serious, Mr. President. Then we will know you're serious. Other than that, all the things we're doing here now, not just fiasco, not just propaganda, not just talk. But we need to take it serious. All right, we need to take it serious. I want to move on to the next topic for today, because this needed my attention. This needed my attention. Let's go to the next topic for today. The next topic that we want to be going to has to do with the FOIA project, right? The FOIA project. Let me take this so you can see what I'm talking about. The FOIA project. President Boakai, I'm not going to bore you with all the long story about the FOIA project. So the FOIA project had to do with government of Liberia saying that they did a presidential project in FOIA, Lofa County, and it's there to host international conference when it comes to peace building and other kind of things. So we don't have problem with development. Development is okay for Liberia. We all want Liberia to be developed. But the whole thing was shrouded in mystery. The whole thing was compounded in accusations of fraud, accusation of bad practices. Nobody know where the money coming from. Some people say, oh, the money is coming from MRU. Some people say, no, the money is not coming from MRU. The money coming from the government. Some people say, oh, no, the money not coming from the government. The money coming from our partners. So we didn't know where the money coming from. Some people say, okay, no, the money came from LPRC. Some money came from NASCAR. Some money came from water and sewer. So we, in confusion, so Mr. Cummings did this. He said, listen, I will write the LACC, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, to look into this and clear the doubt of the Liberian people. Tell the Liberian people, LACC, look into this and tell the Liberian people whether there's any problem here, because public money must be accounted for. LACC replied Mr. Cummings and they said, oh, you know what? Oh, yes, we're looking into this thing. We gave you our assurance that we're looking at it. It's been almost 1 month plus now. LACC has not put up any statement that they have done the initial review, because what they said we'll do our initial review and we'll come back to you to tell you what happened. They have not come back to say what the initial review shows. Nothing. LACC have not shown nothing. And to make matter worse, not only that LACC have not said, oh, this is what we know about the FOIA project, Mr. Cummings write them again, say, you know what happened? It has been a couple of weeks now, almost going to a month and more than a month now, that you've not gotten back to the Liberian people. It's fair enough. If you didn't see anything, come back and tell the Liberian people, look, we checking the FOIA project, yeah, we see nothing there that low there, something happened, right? So y'all leave it alone. Everything is correct. Then come back. So Mr. Cummings write them again. The second time. He said, look, I'm writing you the second time. Can you people tell us what is the result from the first review you decided to do? Tell us about the review. Up to now, nothing has been done. Let me say this. Look, Councillor Alexandra, the head of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Look, you are a young lady, Alexandra. Councillor Alexandra, you are a young lady. Your reputation is at stake. Your entire career your professional career is at stake. You took an oath to serve the country. You did not take an oath to serve any political person, whether it is Cummings, whether it is President Boakai. No, that the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission was designed to be independent. It was designed to stand alone, to not be influenced by any political party, not be influenced by any politician. And so we are not saying Mr. Cummings is trying to influence you. The question Mr. Cummings is asking, they are all fair questions that any ordinary Liberian will ask. If they think got so much noise behind it, then can you please look inside for us? Because that's your role to look inside it for us. Please look inside for it and tell us. And if you look inside it to tell us what went wrong, can you please tell us what you saw? Simple. Councillor Alexandra of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission is yet to tell Liberian people in a swift manner. And we're not saying, look, investigation is easy. We're not saying investigation is easy. But at least, show Liberian people some respect. Show Liberian people some respect. Show some respect. Maybe just come and say, happy, we were asked to look into this thing, and now we are looking into this thing because of the importance of this matter. We want to tell Liberian people that as of the time we're asked to look into this matter, and now the investigation is ongoing. We have not found anything substantial yet, and the investigation is ongoing. We'll get back to the Liberian people in the soonest possible time. Silence is not an answer for the people of Liberia when they are in need of a government of accountability, a government of transparency, a government that declare that when they come, they will be better than the past government. You see, transparency and accountability is very important for any government. And Alexandra, Councillor Alexandra, you need to come up and tell Liberian people, we are looking into the FOIA project like Mr. Cummings asked us to do. And we've seen that there is no issue there. That case can be laid to rest. The money came from XYZ. The Liberia, PBCC cleared it. The procurement was done properly. All the procurement laws were followed. The company that won the project is a legitimate company. It has no conflict of interest. And everything around this whole project here is clean. Liberian people, you can rest your hearts. Finish. Finish. The question here now is that the longer you keep quiet, then we start to ask ourselves, what is it that keeping you to be quiet? What? Where's the transparency? So then we are concerned. We're concerned. At this point, I want to take a quick break. At a half hour, 1 hour mark, I want to take a little break, and I want to bring a little bit of announcements. And the first announcement I want to bring to you is the announcement of in America we say a barbecue. A barbecue. Let me tell you what backyard barbecue or backyard cookout is about. In America, a cookout is where you gather together, go down in the backyard, somebody's backyard, or maybe in the park, and then you roast some meat, roast some chicken, roast some hot dog. I'm talking about the hot dog, I'm talking about whale. But I'm talking about the real dog. You go kill the poor dog and go roast it. Talking about sausage. You roast the sausage, you roast the meat, you roast some corn, your face on, small thing, you go, you bust your gut. That brain say you go bust your gut. So yes, there is a cookout happening, and Mr. Cummings want to invite you all. It's going to be happening in Rhode Island, in Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island is one of the populated states in the U.S. where Liberians are found. And so if you're in Rhode Island, in Providence, come to 49 Whitmarsh Street. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. 49 Whitmarsh Street, Providence, Rhode Island, right? So take a screenshot, and yeah, come and be a part of this cookout. Come and join the Alternative National Congress Diaspora in New England, the New England chapter. We have chapters across the America. Right now we are building, we're trying to strengthen the ANC in the diaspora, and we are now establishing our different regional chapters. And this, our chapter in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, we'll be having a cookout. Come out, look, you didn't charging you fasting. Come out, enjoy yourself, have some fun, and be a part of a Liberian community. Mr. Cummings says, look, Liberia is for all of us. He's open to working with anybody who wants to see Liberia move forward. Any well-meaning Liberian want to work with Mr. Cummings to move the country forward. Come, if you're in Providence, Rhode Island, 49 Whitmarsh Street, if you know where it is, 49 Whitmarsh Street, put it in your GPS and come there. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. If not pronouncing it well, screenshot that thing and get out there to that cookout. I don't know what the menu will be, but I'll show you get some roasted meat, roasted pork, roasted corn, some shrimp, all right, some hot dog, and Liberian making go anywhere with all Liberian food. So just forget that. I'm sure Kasali and Tina will be there in the meantime. So come and enjoy yourself. There's another announcement I want to just bring to you quickly also. In addition to this cookout, there's another announcement I want to bring to you quickly. The ANC Diaspora will be having its convention, and our convention is going to be in Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the most popular area in the U.S. when it comes to the Liberian community. So in Minnesota, we'll be having our ANC will be having its USA Diaspora Convention, and that convention will be taking place in what we call other people in Minnesota know the area. They call them how do you call the place again? I want to say it's too small from my eyes to see it. Let me see if I can look at it on my, because somebody was saying that call the name, because maybe on the radio I can't see it. So call the name. Let me see if I can get it from my instead of looking on the screen. Let me see if I can get it. But yeah, that cookout is happening in Minnesota. So let me look it up quick and tell you not cookout, but the ANC convention happening in Minnesota. Let me look it up quick and see if I can give you full detail to that, where it's gonna be. And I know that in Minnesota, this Brooklyn Park is one of the areas that Liberian can finish from. It's the most populated area. They call the Brooklyn Park area. Very, very well known by many Liberians, called the Brooklyn Park. So I'm sure it's gonna be in that Brooklyn Park area. For some reason, I can't find a thing on my phone here right now. Yeah, but I'm sure it's gonna be in the Brooklyn Park area. But again, I just want to invite you, come and join us in the Brooklyn Park area. Screenshot that stuff. Take note of it. Come and join us. Liberia, if you are in any of those locations in how you call this, Minnesota, be a part of this convention. Look, come and be a part of ANC, be a part of this convention, be a part of the movement, be a part of what is going on in the diaspora when it comes to Liberia engaging in Liberian politics. Look, don't tell yourself and say, I don't want to be involved in Liberian politics. Whatever happened will happen. We can't change what's going on there. Listen, we can't change what's going on in Liberia by sitting on the fence either. You have to be involved. You got to be involved in what is going on in Liberia. If you're not involved in what is going on in Liberia, it's going to impact your children. You're going to impact your children, going to impact your grandchildren. And let me say this, whether you like it or not, whether you have them or not, you can't stop what is going to happen in Liberia, but you can be a part of it, right? You can't stop it, but you can be a part of it. All right. So I know it's in Brooklyn Park area. I just found it. Let me see if I can get. So it's it's on Friday, October 9, 2026. It's the address is 10105 Noble Avenue, North Brooklyn Park, Minnesota 55443. So yes, we're going to be there from the 9th all the way to the 10th, Friday the 9th, October 9th to October 10th, Saturday, and we will be there having some fun. On the 9th, we'll be there. Come and join us. On the 10th, we'll also be there again. Come and join us. Business section. If you want to be part of ANC, come and be a part of the business session. Meet and greet us on the 9th. The 10th, we're going to be having some business session. Come and join us and be a part of this business session. Be a member, be a part of business session. And then we're having a banquet and a ball where we're going to eat, have some fun, listen to some speeches. We're going to be on Saturday at they call it Edinburgh, USA, in Clubhouse in the same Edinburgh crossing Brooklyn Park. Come and join us there and be a part of this. All right. For more information, stay tuned. We'll be coming up with all of the different prices and what you. I'll go on ANC website. Look for ANC Diaspora USA website. All of the information is there. You can be a part of this convention. Now, ANC convention is one of those events that we go there. We get to meet each other as American American Liberian. Because some people can say, I'm in America. I'm born here. I'm an American. Yeah, but you're an American Liberian. Come and be a part, right? Or some people say, I'm a Liberian, but I like to identify as Liberian American. Yeah, you are a Liberian American. Come and be a part. Join us, right? Or you are a Liberian, just like myself, typical Liberian. Come and join us. Be a part of this entire event, right? So yeah. So having said that, let's move back onto our topic for tonight. I know that this guy, Prophet Key is going to be free this month. Prophet Key is going to be free this month. But here's what I want to say about Prophet Key being free this month, right? Here's what I want to say about Prophet Key being free this month. I want to make this thing last so you can see Prophet Key a little bit, but a little I'm not getting the upper. The thing is that Prophet Key was sent to prison because they said he insulted the Chief Justice. Do I support insults from any Liberian on social media? No. Is it a good thing for Liberians to be on social media insulting people? No. Liberians should never be on social media insulting their leaders, their government official, whether it's the president. Well, no, don't do that. It's not right. But here's the thing, right? When it comes to politics, in politics, people need to understand that politics is a whole different ball game. That's why you see, even when the guys are doing politics in the House of Representatives, things that involve the law and things, they say, oh, this is a political matter. Don't bring the law, don't bring the court bill inside. When the Supreme Court will get involved, say, oh, Supreme Court shouldn't put more in our mind. It has political undertone. There should be separation of this and this. That same ideology falls into any political spectrum. In a political space where people are doing political propaganda, there are many different things people can do in political propaganda. Some of them can tell lies. somebody can accuse people falsely. So when people understand that these things are just mere propaganda, to go after the people because of their propaganda, it becomes a problem. Now, freedom of speech is granted under the laws, correct? So does it mean to say you can violate freedom of speech and just go free? No. Freedom of speech is protected by the Constitution of Liberia, but you are responsible for the speech in the way you use it and how it affects other people. I agree. But this is my argument. If the justice, like Justice Wese, felt that he was injured by Prophet Key political speech, as any ordinary Liberian, Wese is supposed to take Prophet Key to court. Justice Wese, so the Chief Justice, is supposed to take Prophet Key to court. But what the Chief Justice did is that he took the shortcut. Chief Justice took the shortcut. Justice Wese took the shortcut because he flipped it to say that Prophet Key said that the Supreme Court is corrupt and all the judges are corrupt. People say that a lot of the time. You know how many persons have said the court is corrupt? You know how many persons have said the Supreme Court is corrupt? You know how many times people have said, oh, you know, the Chief Justice is corrupt? People will say these things. But people understand these things are political speeches. Some people say, oh, the president is corrupt. The president did this, the president did that. People understand all of these things are political speeches. Those are political rhetoric. So they don't give it a lot of credence. And it is important for us to understand that, because if we don't understand that, then we give people a chance to manipulate politics and power. And when they start manipulating politics and power, it becomes dangerous. Then we will start creeping back to when we're in the PRC time with President Doe, where they got degree 88A. Any kind of speech you give that made a president look ugly, or that made somebody in government that get power look ugly, then they can collect you, they flock you, or they can collect you and do stuff to you, put you in jail for what you said. But we said to ourselves on the Camara Act, or under the different protocols for freedom of speech, and, you know, they try to separate political speeches from actual speech that cause injury. So if you feel that certain speech you heard about you has caused you injury, go to court. You see, and I let her give this example. You remember when Judy Annie felt that Prophet Key had cursed her on the radio, on social media, and she wanted to take Prophet Key to court? The legal advisor to President Boyka, Bujiben Keita, got up and said he called the Solicitor General, and he said to the Solicitor General, listen, am I hearing that you carry Prophet Key to court for his speech concerning somebody else? And then he said, the Solicitor General Fire said, yes. He said, do you know that we have an act that decriminalized speech? He said, no. He said, the man said, no, I don't know. Fire said, no, I don't know. He said, we're going to look it up. And Fire went and looked it up, and he dismissed it. He dropped the case. Prophet Key walked free. Even though Ambassador Judy Annie cried, like baby sat in front of the mansion, she sat on the mat, she wore wet clothes, she rolled in the dust. President Baka did not pay attention. Nobody paid attention. They said, well, the speech is protected. Then when it came to Justice Wese, who now the Chief Justice, he flipped it around and said, oh, no, it's not just about the speech, it's about holding Prophet Key into contempt for saying that the Supreme Court is corrupt. But how many people have said President is corrupt, Supreme Court corrupt, judges are corrupt, lawmakers are corrupt? How many people have not said it before? So he manipulated the power to get Prophet Key in jail. He manipulated the power to get Prophet Key in jail. That's what I would say. And I think that was wrong. And this is what I think was wrong. I think it was wrong because he could have taken Prophet Key to court and proved how Prophet Key's statement or accusation against him injured him personally as a citizen of the Republic of Liberia. Like any one of us, we are equal on the law. Take the man to court. Go through the process. Let the man get a lawyer. You go through the evidence, whatever the case is. And then you prove your case. The law will serve your case, and you move on from there. Don't bend and say, oh, the man undermine the Supreme Court. The man. So if we're not careful now, a lot of people will be called to the Supreme Court tomorrow when a different party in power and they want to use the Supreme Court to bring other people down. They will use it too and use this as a precedent, right? Precedent. When that starts happening, where is the country going to? These are things we call slopes. We call it slopey ground. You on a slippery slope. On a slippery slope, meaning anybody can anybody can misinterpret it. Anybody can misinterpret. Anybody can misuse it. Right? So we don't want to go that direction. And what we're trying to advise and say, listen, let us be careful. Let us be careful. We shouldn't start things we cannot end. If you like the way the man talk, simple. Get a man to quote as a civilian. Get a man to quote as a civilian. You get a man to quote as a civilian when the court find a man guilty for causing your mom, causing your sister, causing your brother. Tomorrow, Judy Annie can also take the man to court for causing your mom and causing your sister and causing your auntie. But because you let the man cause your mom, cause your sister, cause your auntie, because you get power at a certain level, you manipulate the situation and carry the man. No, that's wrong. Yeah, that's what I got problem with. That's what I got problem with. Because anybody can use this tomorrow. It may not be Unity Party. It may not be CDC. It could be anybody who wants to use it for wrong reason can use that, and that will be president. So Prophet Key is supposed to be coming out this month. Now we're waiting to see when Prophet Key come answer. What will he do? Will Prophet Key change? We saw a letter from Prophet Key where he said, "I'm sorry." As the court told him to do, he said, "Oh, he's sorry. He will not cause anybody mind again." But when Prophet Key comes out of jail, will he be a changed man? Will he be a baptized believer in not causing anybody mind no more? Well, that is yet to be seen. When Prophet Key comes from the jail in this month, will he still cause man cause and cause power cause? Well, we're yet to see that. Prophet Key said, "I will not cause nobody mind again. I will not cause nobody's sister again. I won't cause anybody enter no more. I will not even cause my own sister no more." Right? Say change man now. So let's see if Prophet Key is a change man when he comes from jail. Or will Prophet Key somersault and go to Morocco where he came from and then continue his causing this time against the Barker administration to see that he come down? Well, that is yet to be seen. That is yet to be seen. All right, so the last topic for tonight, then we'll close, is the CDC USA National Convention. So yes, the CDC convention happened the other day, just last weekend. ANC went and identified with them. You remember what I said, that Mr. Cummings have said he wants to move this country forward, and he is not the kind that will not work with people. He said, if I were president of Liberia, we wouldn't have this drug situation. So for that not to happen, he said this one. He said, we believe in collaboration, coordination, and coalition building. So because Mr. Cummings has this idea, we all who are following him, we are open to collaboration, coordination, and coalition. We want to build bridges. We want to be in that space where we all can build Liberia together in a way that will not hurt Liberia. Any kind of way that we can build Liberia that will not hurt Liberia, we are willing to be a part of that project, part of that exercise. So yes, well, we did go to the CDC convention, ANC. We had representation of our top officials there, some of our top officials in the USA. We had Dr. George there, all right. Dr. George, he is the chairman for ANC Diaspora USA. We had Jesse. Jesse is one of our regional coordinator within the Delaware area. And we had our acting secretary in the diaspora, and Eric, all right. He's in that light court, all right. And then, yeah, you can see me there. I'm in the front, on your left, all right. I'm in the front, in a dark suit, first person in the front. And then third from me on my left hand side, third from me is Georgie. Next to Georgie in the gray suit with the white shirt under there is Toyiwa. Toyiwa is one of the strong supporters of the CDC. Toyiwa, hats off to you. All right. I hope you're having a nice day. Dr. George, I hope you're having a nice day. All right. We have Gessim there next to Toyiwa, the former one of former CDC USA chairman, and then we have Eric in the pink suit, coat suit, and then we have Jesse, all right, the Delaware regional coordinator. So yeah, so we have our guys out there. Want to say we wish the CDC USA National Convention are the best. We know what came out of that convention will mean well for the party. We pray that even as former President George Weah spoke, that unity will be the order of the day. The party will be reconciled across all of the different regions and the different cells, that they will come together and try to foster unity amongst themselves. We cannot build Liberia if we are divided, my people. We can only build Liberia if we're united. If we cannot be united in our smaller groups, how can we be united in the whole country? So let's try to work up our differences politically, political differences. Let's try to work it up diplomatically and improve how we serve our country. So with that being said, I want to bring this show to, I want to wrap this show up. But to wrap it up, I want to say thank you for being there with me today. While I talk, I'm going to play, there's a song that I use as a theme song for this show. And I'm going to play in the background, say Primetime Conversation. And then I will just play in the background very quietly. And I'll wrap up what are some of the things we talk about in the show today.
Welcome to Primetime Conversation, where the truth speaks and the people listen. From Cape Town to Maryland, from Nimba to Montserrat, the future calling Liberia. When the voices of the people start to rise, you can see the truth within their eyes. Too many years of struggle and pain, still the people dancing in the rain. But hope is growing in the land tonight. A new vision coming into sight. A servant leader walking with the crowd, speaking truth, humble but proud. This is Primetime Conversation, talking about the nation's transformation. From the villages to the city light, Liberia searching for what is right. Education for every girl and boy, healthcare bringing hope and joy. A stronger future we can see for every Liberian family. Hear the farmers calling from the field, waiting for.
All right, this is Primetime Conversation. I want to say thank you for being there. And today we'll cover 4 stories. We'll cover the Liberia drug crisis. We think what Mr. Cummings have said is very important. We should be able to, fight this drug head on. I'm calling on all Liberians to be a part of this drug fight. This whole fight against this drug is not one person fight. It's all of us fight. And I would say let's take the fight to this drug. And Liberians, let us unite.
All right, this is Primetime.
Let us unite. All right. All right. So again, let's say this. Let's be honest with ourselves with this drug crisis. If you can contribute in any way in Liberia, like you can say, if you see something, say something. Because when this drug hit Liberia and our country goes south, it's going to hurt other of us. I want to say to Councillor Alexandra at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, please respond to Mr. Cummings and provide us feedback on his letter to you on where you are with this entire thing about the FOIA project, and tell us where the money came from, who provided the money, was the bidding process proper, was the procurement process proper, is the company implementing that project in any form of conflict of interest. We want to know all of these things. Let the Liberian people have some confidence in the process. So I want to say, encourage you, please do your job and report as soon as possible. Another thing I want to say quickly is that, Prophet Keith has been free this month. As Prophet Keith come from jail, we want to say, I think, emphatically, manipulating power in order to get our Liberians is wrong. We think it's wrong. We think it should never be happening. If you have any injury with the law, please use the law. If you feel Mr. Prophet Key insulted you, take the man to court. Even the Chief Justice is not above the law. The Chief Justice, any ordinary Liberian, if you feel Prophet Key calls you, carry Prophet Key to the law. If you feel anybody insulted, take them to the law, like Giuliani did. If they kick your case out, they kick it out, even though you're Chief Justice. Don't take shortcut and say, oh, the man is held in contempt against the Supreme Court by using the Supreme Court as a shortcut to get a man to jail. We think anybody can use that as precedence tomorrow and can hurt any other Liberian by just using that as an example. We think that is wrong. We should be able to separate political speeches from actual individual speech that hurt you. If you think that your speech is a violation of anybody's right, or you think somebody violated you with any speech, take the person to court. Take the person to civil law court. Or if you want to tell the criminal court, tell them wherever you want to tell, whichever you want, tell them the court. But don't use your position in power to take a shortcut to get a person to go to jail. Liberia will do that a lot. In Liberia will say, oh, you know, I get power, I come and show you what I get. Then when you go low, you put a person in jail, say you're sleeping in jail tonight. That shouldn't be happening. Last and not the least, we did discuss about the CDC convention. I want to say hats off to former President George Manuel. We have for the successful convention. We was peaceful. We want to say ANC stand with you in your convention. We say we hope that you come and join us for our own convention, all right, which is slated for October 9th in Minnesota. We want to say you are invited. Come to Minnesota, join us for our convention. And at our convention in Minnesota, we will be having major sessions as well. We'll be having meet and greet on the 9th, which is going to be on a Friday. On Saturday, it's going to be the business session on the 10th of October. October 9th is meet and greet in Brooklyn Park. On the 10th is our business session. Join ANC, come and be a part of this convention. And then if you want to be a part of our ball, our banquet, we're at this CDC banquet. We're inviting CDC also. Gentlemen, come and join us. No, let us show the Liberian people that politics does not mean the country is divided. We can be on different sides, but it doesn't mean we should be enemies. And with that being said, I want to say it was a pleasure having you on the show tonight. And again, this was prime-time conversation where we discuss issues relative to Liberia. And whatever Liberia is going through, we know that you, Liberian people, are set to be blessed. In Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, on August 29th this month, we're having a cookout. Join us there also. All right, in Providence, Rhode Island, come and join us. I want to say again, have a good night. God bless you. And see you on the next time this show comes back on air. Bye.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.